My dinner with my newly married wife and boss where I ate more than food. I am from India and work for a man who is a self-professed don in the area. To be clear, I deal with his legal work. While I do not advocate his ways, I must say he is not unimpressive in the way he runs business. I got married recently. A hush-hush affair, and to make up for the lack of celebrations, I organized a feast. My wife is a beautiful woman. Quite ethereal. My close friends say I got lucky as I found a goddess. She is demure and pure, like a morning dewdrop. And that is what attracted me to her. She is from a small town and isn't used to the darkness in the world. Now, on the fateful evening, when I made the mistake of inviting my boss to dinner, little did I know that I'd invited a devil to our house. My boss was known for his one-and ways, but he has always considered me his brother. He even said so on multiple occasions, so I never thought he would be disrespectful towards us. Or her. He is known for his many conquests of women. And he would boast about how he effed them, grossly going over the lascivious details of their nakedness and the way they tasted and smelt and moaned. My wife, my lovely wife, was dressed appropriately like a prude Indian married woman when he came to our house. She was wearing a kurti and had draped her bosom with a shawl. At first it was all right. He maintained the respectable decorum of a gentleman. And then he produced a bottle of scotch, and that was when things started to look a little heated. My boss's eyes darted to my wife. She was in the kitchen getting the dishes and directing our maid with the chores. I saw how he eyed her. Scanning my wife as trying to disrobe her mentally. His eyes lingered on her bosom, removing her shawl and unbuttoning her kurti and feasting her nakedness, her hips, her SS, and... I quickly tried to bring him back to the more pressing topics. Our business and how to analyze the market. But he didn't flinch. He kept ogling at her. I should have raised my voice then, but I didn't, and that led me to keep quiet for the rest of his travesty for the rest of the night. When she was serving us dinner, he asked her to sit right next to him. She looked at me. But I couldn't say anything. I kept quiet. As we had our dinner, he asked her what perfume she wears. Out of the blue. She replied. Some fruity perfume. He quickly stuck his neck in her direction and took a whiff. She jerked herself up. And he laughed. I convinced myself that it was a harmless act, a funny one perhaps, which was a follow-up of a harmless question, and he then followed it up with an equally vulgar one. This one was towards me. He asked me if she smells just like that when she opens her legs. I grew white. My wife stayed in her seat stunned. She expected me to kick him in his face. Or roar. But I stayed in my seat. My head bent low, eyes on the food, refusing to meet her accusing stare. She doesn't know how powerful he is. He could make me disappear in a second if he wanted to. Then he looked at her and told her that she is a catch. That I have found a good woman and a true beauty. That he is jealous of me. That I get to see her nakedness every night and feel her. I saw my wife turn white. She kept her emotions to herself. Rage, sadness, pity, disgust, I saw them all in her eyes. And all of them were directed at me. Not him. I had asked her to be polite with him, that he is not just a boss but a powerful overlord of the city. But she also realized that her husband isn't a hero either. The vile man continued to drink and laugh and admire my wife's beauty and her scent in such explicit details that I began to get mixed emotions. I was being humiliated in front of her, but I was also enjoying it. A man, a complete stranger, praising, admiring my wife's body without even seeing it. Objectifying her. Sexualizing her in a manner I hadn't done before. I stirred something in my pants. When he asked her if she dances. Judging by the pictures on the wall, of her in Bharatanatyam and Kathak dance attire, she said yes. He commented on how flexible she is and exclaimed how lucky I'm to have her. To F her in doggy where a woman totally knows how to bend over and raise her SS. Hearing that I am ashamed to admit I wanted to F her right there. And make him watch.